This episode is brought to you by Indie Film Hustle Academy, where filmmakers and screenwriters go to learn from top Hollywood industry professionals. Learn more at ifhacademy.com. Throughout your career, you have worked within the studio system. Finding money here and there in the studio system. How do you work within that system and still maintain the creative fight that you have in all of your work and fight for that vision?
You have to do it step by step. There is no formula. The thing is, I did enter into the studio system. You can't say Platoon or Salvador were done inside that system. No, they were not. They were independent films. And they were recognized by the independent spirit people. But after that, yes, I had an entree. And Wall Street, yes, was made by Fox, 20th Century Fox, under Rupert Murdoch and Barry Diller. And that was and then I worked, but you have to realize I always did what I wanted to do. I never, except for once or twice where I was compromised by a studio head, I managed to always do it my way. It was my script, or I co-written, or even if my name is not on it, believe me, it was my story. It was something I had totally put my stamp on. It never worked for me. I never got scripts from the studio. It never worked. They'd say, "Are you interested in this or that?" Sometimes it was a very big commercial film, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get myself into it because a commercial film, in their minds, an action film, has to have a climax every 15 minutes or an action scene, and you're putting a shape on it right away. You know, Tom Cruise has to run here and he has to do that, and after 15 more minutes, it fucks you up. You got to do it. I found my way through it. Talk radio was done independently again with Garth Drabinsky in Canada and Ed Presman. The film then it was followed by Born on the 4th of July was done under difficult conditions with Universal, limited money, but Cruise was a movie star, and it was a story about a paraplegic. So obviously they're not too keen on seeing Tom Cruise in a wheelchair for half the movie. You understand these kind of
Sure.
problems come up. Always fighting about it. JFK, I sold it as a thriller. I sold it to Warner Brothers. They loved the idea. It's a murder story. They didn't think about, nor did I, of all the political implications of saying this. So, but I had no doubt that I was following a true path of Jim Garrison, who had started this horrible investigation that shocked the world, but he actually stuck to his guns. He was the first public figure, a DA in New Orleans, who actually did that. Nobody else opened their mouth about that awful crime that was buried in the bullshit of the Warren Report. Garrison had tremendous guts and paid a huge price. That kind of thing. Nixon was done from inside me, made by Warner Bros. Wouldn't make it. It was made by an independent, Andy Vanya, independent. Doors was made independent with Mario Casaro. Right. You see, I would go back and forth. These were independent producers became empowered in the 80s from video sales. That was the whole difference. We had video sales. And that group of people, Dino De Laurentiis was one of them, but Mario, Andy, John Daly, they were able to carve out little kingdoms and Harvey Weinstein out of out of these video sales. And that became a business until it became abused, as all these things do. The numbers changed, and by the late 90s, the middle 90s, the numbers were insane, and people were expecting too much. It's always the golden goose, video sale, and then we mark up the prices, and we say it's worth this much, and it changes, it distorts, and actors started asking for $15-20 million a picture. It all changed and became more corporate, and that's what happens. The corporations move in because the money is bigger, and these independent producers start to disappear. You can track the flow of them through time, and a lot of them disappear because the studios or the corporations take over that business.
Right.